how to land a job at Tim Hortons and Wendy's. Let's go, and we are just driving in one of the Wendy's and Tim Hortons locations here in New Brunswick. If you're looking for sponsored jobs in Canada, make sure to subscribe to this channel so that you get notified on the various jobs and companies that I publish. And make sure to visit questjobs.online for you to search PR eligible jobs in Canada. Tim Hortons is a household name across Canada. As a matter of fact, they also have some locations in the US. Now, Tim Hortons' business model is that it has various franchise. So each and every location in Canada is owned by different franchise owners. For example, in the Atlantic, there are various companies who own Tim Hortons franchises. For example, there's the Murphy Restaurants, Honey Dip Incorporated, Troy Company, Fredericton and Minto Group, Tim Hortons Recomac, Bake Co-Management, Cloverville Enterprises, D2D Restaurant, etc., etc. There are really hundreds of them who own various Tim Hortons franchises across the Atlantic. Majority of Tim Hortons jobs are eligible under the Atlantic Immigration Program. Now guys, you have to be careful when it comes to Tim Hortons and Atlantic Immigration Program. Not all of Tim Hortons locations and not all of Tim Hortons franchise owners are eligible under AIP. So then, for example, if you go to Indeed.com or .ca and look for Tim Hortons jobs, you will see hundreds of jobs under Tim Hortons, but not all of them. As a matter of fact, 80% to 90% of them will not sponsor you under AIP because most of them are not eligible under AIP. And AIP is just an example. There are other PNPs wherein various franchises are also not eligible to sponsor. Majority of jobs under Tim Hortons really are under the tier 4 and 5. There is a strategy in order for you to be eligible under AIP. Food counter attendant, cashier, and coordinators or assistants inside the shop itself, most of these jobs really are tier 5. If you will go to questjobs.online, these are the majority of jobs that you will find. And sadly, these jobs, as I have just mentioned, are not eligible under AIP. So what happens is that students, foreign workers, international applicants even tend to work for Tim Hortons for tier 5 for 6 months up to 1 year, gain that experience, and only after so much months working for that company, then they will be provided with tier 3 kinds of jobs. And tier 3 will be supervisory kinds of jobs. So that's how it goes here in the Atlantic. I do have a personal friend of mine who used to be an international student. She was already on PGWP. She was hired from a company that is, it's a different company. The company was Wendy's, but, and this is a big but, the process of Wendy's and Tim Hortons are pretty much the same. They are a franchise company. Every single location is owned by different franchises. Each franchise owner will have to be designated and apply under AIP in order for them to be eligible to sponsor an applicant to apply for permanent residence. And therefore, what happens is that the deal is normally work for the company, Tim Hortons in this case, work for the company for 1 year, and after 1 year, that is the time the company will provide an endorsement letter. The endorsement letter then becomes the significant document for the applicant to apply for PR under the Atlantic Immigration Program. Now let's talk about salary working at Tim Hortons. The salary really at Tim Hortons is, as you can imagine, minimum wage. Here in New Brunswick, it's $15.20 per hour. In Nova Scotia, it's less than $16. In the Atlantic region, it's actually less than $16 per hour. The normal work hour is 8 hours per day. There is shifting, of course. There's the morning shift, the afternoon, and the evening shift. Most of the workers who work at Tim Hortons really are international students doing a part-time job. Here in Canada, as an international student, you're allowed to work 24 hours in a week. And also, most of the people who work at Tim Hortons are the ones looking to land a PR pathway. Tim Hortons becomes a bridge for them to land a PR pathway. Actually, let me walk you through finding and searching for a job at Tim Hortons that is eligible under AIP here in the Atlantic. I am right now at questjobs.online. I signed in, I logged in. You guys can actually enjoy 5 days of free trial. And if the portal is not for you, you are absolutely welcome to cancel your free trial. If the portal is for you, then you can subscribe. Now, in the portal, there are 10 different pathways under the portal. And right now, what I did is I put in Tim and all categories. And when I hit search, this portal will show me the different jobs under Tim Hortons. For example, they are looking the Murphy Restaurant, which is a designated company under AIP. They are in New Brunswick. They're looking for a manager. So if you are a manager, you have got to be under tier 0 to 3. That's for sure. Managerial positions are always in that tier. And therefore, if you receive a job offer under this tier, you will be eligible under the AIP pathway here in the region.